We held back on Mark Scheifele until you got here, and so we ended up talking about boxing and UFC.
Did you watch the fight this weekend?
No, I was just towards the end of it. I was like, okay, I tried to find an illegal stream and I was too slow and it ended. So it's probably just as well as I didn't watch.
You tried to get past the paywall? What is this? Garbage.
It was in like the 6th or the 7th round. So I was on my phone and it was late at night and I was just clicking around. I was like, well, maybe I'll watch the end of this and see if he knocks him out or not. And by the time I got something working on my phone, it was over. So it sounds like I didn't miss much.
You didn't.
No.
A lot of hugging.
Did you guys watch the whole thing?
No.
I was busy watching Game 8, Leafs Habs. I think they're going to pull it off. They're going to pull off the comeback.
That's like some sad hallucination you have in your basement or something.
What are you talking about?
We will talk about the Leafs later, James, but we got to talk about Mark Scheifele. We got to play these clips first. If you haven't heard these, Jesse, go ahead with them, please. From a press conference today.
Would have loved, an answer from them of what would have been a better thing to do. Cause I've replayed the thing over and over in my mind. And the only real thing is if I gave up on my teammates, on that play and just didn't back check. So, it's over and done with. I'm not going to continue to cry over it, but, it's the decision they made. It's crushing to that my season was ended by that, and I wasn't able to play in this series. I thought I was going to be tried to shut down by Philip Deneau, and it was Department of Player Safety that shut me down. So that definitely sucks.
Okay, I need a side by side of Mark Scheifele saying he's done crying over it, and the amount of time it takes to cry over it again. And I need to see if it beats Usain Bolt's 100-meter dash record. I believe it's 9.58. I want to see if Usain Bolt, I want to see. Oh, someone put together the video. You know what I'm trying to say, and I'm just communicating it poorly. Anyway, he's a baby.
James, you are a guy that has to listen to player quotes all the time. And usually they suck and they're boring. This one is one of the most interesting we've seen all year in the NHL. I wanted to get, what's your initial reaction when you read that, when you watch that?
I'm surprised because Mark Scheifele's not known as a guy he's known as kind of the sucks and are boring guy. I'm surprised that it was him saying that. And he's always been known, like one of the things that came out when he was suspended is that he's never been suspended before. He's barely got any penalty minutes. He's just one of the cleanest. He has a reputation as being a really clean, nice player in the NHL. And I almost wonder, I give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he's never been in a situation like this before. He never expected to be in a situation like this before. He's not a guy that gets suspended all the time. I think that, and the playoffs and the way that the team went out without him and all those things, I think what you're hearing is the frustration boiling over into quotes that don't make him look very good is basically what's happening there.
It does seem, if you're Mark Scheifele in this, the one thing I will say, as much as I disagree with his point of view, is when you look at what happened, and Caps fans are going to hate this, but when you look at what happened with Tom Wilson, or what didn't happen with Tom Wilson, and you compare and contrast, you can understand why Mark Scheifele's like, where's the bar here? And you can sort of understand why Nazem Kadri's like 8 games, really? And I think from that perspective, do you think the frustration is more just, we just don't know where Department of Player Safety stands on anything right now?
Yeah, that's probably part of it. I mean, I don't take any issue with the suspension that Mark Scheifele got, to be honest. I mean, and I don't take issue with the one that Kadri got either. I mean, I think that the Kadri one makes sense. I mean, I was reading the ruling from the neutral arbitrator yesterday, and it's the case that the league laid out. I mean, Kadri had been suspended for hitting guys in the head like 6 times or something like that. I mean, that one makes a lot of sense. Should there be more leeway for Mark Scheifele with it? That was a weird play. It was a really strange play. It was a strange player to be making that play. He says he doesn't know what he should have done differently. He shouldn't have clocked the guy. I mean, he had already put the puck in the empty net. Like, why are you destroying the guy at the end of a game?
He didn't want to give up on his teammates, James, obviously.
It's just bad.
Stupid.
It's disingenuous, right? Like,
yes.
It's just
disingenuous.
Yes.
It's very just so, like, I mean, What he should say is that I made a mistake there. I shouldn't have blown the guy up in that situation. I misread the play, and I'm not going to do it again. And he's probably not going to do it again, because you look at his history, and he's played like 600 plus NHL games. He's never done anything like that before. But then, the people I talked to around the league were surprised that it was Mark Scheifele that did something like that and was involved in an incident like that.
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Well, I was going to say, there's such an enormous disconnect in this sport. I mean, there's always going to be differing opinions, but like it would be nice for the NHL once a year to take a compilation, like on their own YouTube channel, to take a compilation of hits and go, see this hit rules, like, and just show hard, like devastating hits and show the ones that don't violate any rules and explain why they don't violate any rules. Like, is there, have you heard anything about the NHL trying to communicate what is and isn't clean better?
I've actually seen them do this before. I can't remember the year. We're going back like 7 or 8 years, but I used to go to Florida to the Board of Governors meetings or the GM meetings, and they would be down in like Boca Raton or whatever. And in these meetings, the Department of Player Safety gets like a video screen and puts it in front of all the GMs in the league and say, this is what we want to get rid of. And this, we like this, and like, this is okay. And they have all these different examples. Whether or not they should do that, I mean, they probably should do that publicly, they try very hard to find the line in those examples that they give to the GMs. And then there's debate among the GMs over what's okay and what's not. And that's where the tweaks to the rule language come from, is like all of these debates over the various things that they're talking about. So they do that. The process isn't as transparent as it probably should be. Like that should be something that everyone can see, those videos. But I have seen things like that before, and it's really, really interesting.